Sea Fever. Is it worth watching? Is it worth your time and money? We're gonna cover that right now on Super Media Bro. Sup people, this is Christian D, the Super Media Bro. Now if you like movies, but you sometimes run into movies where you feel like it's a waste of time and money, I'm here to save you that time, I'm here to save you that money. Hit that subscribe button and let's rock. Today I'm reviewing Sea Fever. I'll try to do this as spoiler-free as possible. This movie was written and directed by Neisa Hardiman. She's an award-winning veteran director known for her work in TV shows like Jessica Jones and Happy Valley. She's also one hell of a writer. This movie stars Connie Nielsen, who you might recognize from her work in Gladiator, Basic, and Wonder Woman. Hermione Cornfield plays Chofon, the main character. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hermione is a young up-and-comer who's known for Slaughterhouse Rules. She was in The Last Jedi and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Lastly, but not leastly, we have Dougray Scott. He plays the skipper. You might remember him from Fear the Walking Dead. Let's get into this movie. Now, premise. We've seen thrillers like this one before. A crew is stuck on a vessel with no escape. They face a terrible threat that they must outrun, overcome, or both. Underwater, starring Kristen Stewart from Twilight, has this same premise. So does Pandorum, Prometheus, Sam Jackson, and The Sphere. Look, I can go on and on. What makes this movie different? The director put a lot of work into her characters. They drive the story. It opens up with edge and tension, and it manages to stay there most of the time, which is great because it makes you feel like you're sometimes there with the character. This makes it easier for us to care about them and get invested in the story. We meet the main character, Chofon. She is quite a young workaholic, and the movie does a nice job illustrating this to us quickly and getting us to the main storyline. She gets on a fishing boat known as the Nam Senor, try spelling that, in order to complete a science project. While on the boat, we immediately experience more tension between her and the crew. See, the crew is a bit suspicious. They don't like redheads aboard because it's bad luck. That's right. This is a real Irish superstition, by the way, which comes from the age of the Vikings in Scandinavia. Lots of them had red hair. So back then, if you had red hair on a boat, it usually means bad news for you because the Vikings are coming, huh? Back to the story. Coast Guard warning on the radio for the skipper and the owner of the boat, which happens to be his lady. Now the warning is to avoid the new exclusion zone and go around it. The greedy skipper decides he's gonna ignore the warning and go through anyways. Gotta catch that fish, right? The boat gets stuck. Here's where the quiet workaholic Chofon gets more involved. She notices things aren't quite right in the ocean. She gets called down to the engine room to investigate a strange substance growing on the ship's wooden supports. What the hell is it? Remember earlier when I said crews in these kind of movies have to face terrible threats? Well, this is a terrible threat, but for a different reason. Not exactly for the reason you would immediately think of. Some of this stuff can actually be quite relatable, which is why you sometimes feel like you're on the ship with this crew. In the crew's process of trying to figure out how to fix this problem and survive, relationships are tested in a big way. Instead of just focusing on horror the whole time, this is where a lot of the film's character development kicks into gear. Makes you, the audience, dive further into the rabbit hole. This film has an arc where they're one way at the beginning of the film, and by the end of the film, they're completely different people. This is a fun thing to pick out and notice. Why should you watch this movie? The actors in the movie are all very strong and never waver from taking you on this journey with them. These aren't Oscar performances as far as I know, but they're very good. There is an eeriness from start to finish, and the movie's timing feels well balanced. And by that, I mean the director keeps you engaged and sitting in your seat by giving you different pieces of story without boring you or overwhelming you to death. To sum up the plot, it consists of a girl no one likes, she's a redhead, or Trust, who becomes the only viable person who can explain what's going on and potentially be the savior of the crew. This is horror, but it's a ride as well. I think it's got a little something for just about everyone. Now, these kind of films usually have a cliche comedic relief character, but this director went in a different direction with that, giving it a more serious, gritty feel. I give it a 7.5. Watch this movie. Watch it with friends or that special someone. Not kid-friendly, by the way. Now, this movie is fresh. Comment below if you've seen it, liked it, or hated it. If you'd like to see me cover another film, comment below and let me know what your suggestions are. I'll be uploading content Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I cover movies, games, and for you fight fans, I cover boxing and UFC content as well. Now click to subscribe for more and hit that notification bell. Boom!